Honorable Chief Guest, it is a great honor and privilege for those of us who are serving at KISM to welcome you to this important day in our calendar. This day is marking the launch of the KISM strategic plan for the year 25-29, the launch of the KISM ERP system, and the launch of the Kenya College of Supply Chain Management. Our leadership has steered the ship, is guided properly, and we are happy to associate with the progress in the launch of all these three critical governance instruments that will guide us moving forward into the future.
Just to reiterate a few of the things that we've been able to do in the retiring plan under review is really saying we've been able to operationalize KISM. That's our firstborn child. And the KISM board chair, represented here by Dana Jele, will testify that we've really been able to develop a world-class curriculum. I call it global, taking world-class best practice and contextualizing it with our local environment. Today, we have students across the region, actually about 10 countries now, and over 77 colleges, registered institutions offering CPSPK and also the other professional. So we've got people from Angola, Southern Sudan, Somalia, Burundi, Rwanda, Somaliland, and growing. That tells you that we become a truly regional center of supply chain excellence. So we've also been able, in 2022, we were actually able for the first time develop electronic voter registration. That was transformational. Today you can vote from, like what my colleagues here, Moses said, from Isebania. I can see my brothers from Wajir here, all the way from Lodwa. They were able to vote from the comfort of their homes. That is transformational. So we've grown our membership as we were coming in here. I told the chief guest, we've grown. Today we are over almost 26,000. That's a big number, coming from below 5,000 in 2020. Today, we are over 25,000, almost 26,000. We attribute this increase, Chief Guest, actually to your letter that you gave us, the circular you gave to all, directing that all procurement and supply chain professionals must be members, registered and licensed by the Institute. That transformed the game. So the other thing we've done just to do that decentralization that I just talked about right now is open regional chapters. And I think I want to appreciate Huduma Center team. Our CEO is right here from Huduma Center. He's been a great supporter for us as KISM. We're the very first professional body to leverage on their footprint to ensure that we have Huduma Centers enabled, KISM-enabled Huduma Centers where they give us support at their places in the various countries. I can assure you we'll go across all the 47 counties with your support on CS. We launched the first one recently in Lower Eastern in Machakos, which is really meant to support the members there, leveraging on our footprint as the Huduma footprint alongside our own regional members that are there. I'm also very happy, and this is a challenge again that I attribute to the head of public service who challenged us. When will we recognize senior members? We are finally here. Our fellowship policy will now enable us to recognize and award outstanding men and women, professionals who have made an impact and continue to make a significant impact and contribution to the supply chain profession. And I assure you, Honorable Chief Guest, we know that you're actually fully deserving of that award at the right time. We also took the challenge you gave us, Honorable Chief Guest, to find a mechanism for handling the many senior professionals who have not actually gone through the academic process. And we're the very first institution that have now launched what we call the recognition of prior learning. We had our very first, we have actually got what we call key CPD calendars annually now that are anchored in our CPD program. And one of them, which was launched actually by the chief guest himself right here at Olesereni Emara, was the annual Heads of Procurement Forum. This you initiated actually 3 years ago, and that has been going on. It's now become an annual program, and I think you are there. Yeah, you can clap your hands. Yeah. Again, with your support, Chief Guest, last year we had our first women conference where we had about 211 participants. This year, we had almost 1,000 in Mombasa. Again, we really thank you for that. Thank you. I can see my sister Beatrice Koske from Kenyan is really helped me that. She's been a real passionate about that. And then we've also done our annual program called the Annual National Dialogue. Here is a forum where we call all, not just professionals, other actors in the chain, CEOs, and I think MDs and other people from the county governments to just come and reason together. How can we ensure supply chain is impacting every sphere of influence. That has been a real game changer. Last year, we had about over 1,000 members actually in attendance, and that's continuing. This year, we'll be launching for the very first time, Chief Guest, a specific program aimed at the county program. We call them County Congress, which is really aimed at addressing the unique needs of our members in the counties. I've seen my brother all the way from Wajir here, and we said, these guys at the county governments have unique political and other challenges, especially when governors change. There's a lot of things that happen in the process. So we are going to having our first county congress this year. We've also been able to, in line with what we call emerging needs, health supply chain professional. We realize there's people in health supply chain sector who actually are doing the work of they're not medical doctors, but they are the people supporting the medical people. We realize the medics, the pharmacists want to come and steal our profession. So we realize, let's empower our members to ensure that they get health supply chain knowledge to know how to support their doctors and their pharmacists so that we safeguard our turf in this area of health supply chain. Of course, also the technology, emerging arena of technology has been a real big one. So let me now, of course, continually highlight the issues of strengthening partnerships with government agencies, development partners like GIZ, and the private sector and third sector. But our greatest partner by far has been the World Bank.
As a global institution, the World Bank recognizes the fact that public expenditure is a key government policy tool, and good procurement practices are a major determinant of its effectiveness. In the light of our mission of reducing poverty and boosting shared prosperity, the World Bank Group has an interest in steering good public procurement practices, one that combines value for money, efficiency, transparency, and integrity in all its client countries. Over the years, the World Bank support to client countries in strengthening national procurement system has taken several forms. Now, this involves strengthening the full set of institutional arrangements, among them the rules, norms, and procedures, both formal and informal, that govern public procurement, as well as human and other resources, and the ways in which they are organized to undertake public procurement. Now, the letter, Chief Guest, is the subject of the World Bank support to KISM. Other notable World Bank support on procurement reforms, if I do mention this, our Chief Guest, includes, number one, the assistance in the procurement and in the development and operationalization of public procurement and disposal act of 2005, as I mentioned. The World Bank also did participate in the establishment of the first public procurement regulatory authority, which was the PPOA, and whose first director was a member of staff of the World Bank. We have also supported the procurement space in addressing corrosive and uncompetitive practices in public procurement through collaboration between PPRA and Competition Authority of Kenya. We have also supported the collection, use, and disclosure of beneficial ownership, information, and data. We have also, in the process of supporting assessments of the public procurement system using MAPS methodology. We have also supported the development of sustainable public procurement policy and also the development of and rollout of the electronic public procurement, EGP. Finally, in terms of our support to KISM, the training, capacity building, and professionalization of procurement workforce. Now, if I mention on the professionalization aspect of procurement workforce, the World Bank partnered with KISM in 2019 in the delivery of quality training programs on procurement at the World Bank Finance Operations, an initiative that has gained traction, attracting many countries across the region. The MOU that we signed with the KISM is intended to strengthen the procurement capacity of government staff implementing World Bank finance projects, in addition to building the requisite trainers and facilitators capacity within KISM established level of practitioners. The World Bank support has also been extended to strengthening KISM's institutional capacity to enable it to deliver its regulatory mandates and serve and respond more effectively to practitioners' professional and career training needs. The World Bank is also committed to strengthening this partnership further and will be exploring new areas of support and collaboration in the coming months. Finally, on behalf of the World Bank, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the government for its commitment to undertaking procurement reforms and transforming and modernizing the public procurement system in the country. A well-functioning public procurement system is a prerequisite for economic growth, effective public investment, and an enabler for efficient service delivery to the citizens. I thank you all.
What brings us here today, again, Chief Guest, is really three things. It's really the launch of our end-to-end automated membership portal to facilitate membership registration, licensing processes, to have what you call every member will have his own home or her own home within KISM, electronic home, as it were, a self-service platform. This was developed again with the support of World Bank, and I'm so happy that we'll be launching that today. Again, we'll be launching our Kenya College of Supply Chain we've talked about earlier on, and most importantly, our school is also right here too. Despite all these milestones, again, I keep saying we cannot just rest on our laurels. We cannot sit back and say things are done, because we have learned a lot of lessons that makes us know that we have to continuously elevate our game. So this strategic plan, to give you a quick summary of what you already have on the detailed plan in front of you, is aimed at empowering supply chain professionals through registration, licensing, training, discipline, and regulation of sustainable and ethical practice. That word sustainability keeps recurring because it's what we are doing with the World Bank. Sustainable public procurement must cascade across all institutions. Our vision is anchored around being a model institute for competent and ethical supply chain professionals. And Marianne already talked about our core values: integrity, professionalism, synergy, dynamism, excellence. These are the key anchors of our strategy, which is also anchored in the national development frameworks, and especially our Kenya Vision 2030, our BETTER program, which is a key anchor, and continuously going on to the medium MTP Plan 4. Honorable Chief Guest, ladies and gentlemen, for insightful understanding of this and appreciation of these particular programs that we are launching today, I would now like to invite the CEO to give a quick overview of these three things that we are launching today before I come and take us to the closure of my speech. Karibu CEO.
So we have 5 key areas that this strategic plan is seeking to make a contribution in terms of the result areas. Number 1 is in regards to membership growth, welfare, and satisfaction. Number 2 is enhanced professional development and capacity building. Number 3 is around strengthening compliance, which the head of public service is very, very keen on, including the regulatory framework. And then number 5 is around financial sustainability, so that we can be able to see how to survive, noting the emerging issues in our ecosystem. And then lastly is about strengthening institutional capacity. So for KISM to be able to win in delivering that vision, we are seeking to understand our ecosystem on where we see the KISM's competitive advantage. And I think digital transformation is one of the avenues that we are trying to look at as we also try to diversify our revenue streams now that the government has made a pronouncement around declassification of professional bodies. We're also adopting a business excellence model that will encapsulate visionary leadership, customer-driven quality, innovation focus, and lastly, organizational and personal learning as we seek to improve our processes on a continuous basis. So we have proposed an excellence framework that offers a comprehensive approach to total quality management, looking at our internal processes, the actors within and outside the institute, so that then we can be able to build positive and impactful synergies with all actors, including the government as the custodian of the policy framework, and of course, the actors within our space, other professional bodies who are here, and other stakeholders who are present here. Operationalize welfare issues for our members so that there is value proposition, and so that we can be able to answer the difficult question of why being a member of KISM, and what is it for me if I'm a member of KISM. I think that has been a problem for many years. For lawyers on head of public service, they have the remuneration order. For KISM, we have been having a practicing license that as a private practitioner, I cannot open a shop in town. So we have, in this strategic plan, for the first time proposed to come up with what we are calling the scale of fees, so that we can be able to empower professionals, and then they can be able to then know what to charge for the private practices that they may want to have outside there. The chairman has already talked about the regional chapters. We operationalized 9 regional chapters. We are the first professional body to work with Huduma centers to open our regional chapters. We want to scale up this to all the 58 Huduma centers in the country. And then to retain the members that we already have on board, we have a target of ensuring 100% retainance. And to understand them, we intend to take stakeholders' perception surveys so that we can be able to pick feedback, including from government, on how to enrich the product that we present to our members and also create impact. We are also taking cue from your directions, Head of Public Service, on matters of governance, ethics, and integrity, to curate a leadership program. And that's why we have with us here Professor Nura from Kenya School of Government to operationalize a strategic leadership program at the Kenya School of Government so that we can be able to support supply chain professionals. We are also trying to build a research and consultancy hub at KISM Towers so that we can also be able to create opportunities under this strategic plan. We are trying as much as possible to enforce compliance, to breathe more life and impact in the circular that you issued, so that only people who are duly registered and licensed are able to practice. So we have been given a target by the leadership of 100%. We are reviewing the legal framework, and Head of Public Service and Chief Guest for today, we will be seeking your support. We have a bill that is pending in Parliament, and we want to align to the government legal framework. So in this strategic plan, again, we will be looking at the legal framework. In this plan also, we have empowered issues of disciplinary. The chairman has already indicated that we have received support from the judiciary for the first time in the history of KISM. Up to last year, we had handled only 2 disciplinary cases. We started disciplinary proceedings last year. We processed 44 cases conclusively. Right now, we have 116 cases that we are dealing with, and we think this is the right way to go. We have signed MOUs with actors in the justice space, like ESCC. We want to deepen those collaborations in the coming days so that we can be able to create an impact on compliance enforcement. As I come closer to concluding, in the interest of time, we take note of the need for financial sustainability. Our target by 2029 is to generate about 4.6 billion Kenya shillings, to reduce our debts by 90%, to clear pending bills, noting the tone of the government and the directions of government, by 100%, to build the Green Supply Chain Center of Excellence to enhance our revenues by 2029, to ensure full occupancy of KISM Towers, and then lastly is to grow the proportion of revenue streams by 20% annually. We believe this also, added with automation of budgeting, should be able to make a difference. Internally, we are trying to build a robust performance management system so that we can be able to build the capacity of our human resources. We also want to rebrand KISM during this phase of the strategic plan as we implement customer experience management. For us to realize this dream, we look upon the government support. We want to work with all stakeholders, and we trust and believe that this strategic plan will be able to take KISM to the next level So thank you very much for listening to me, and we thank you for the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
With those remarks, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to ask ourselves to rise up as we welcome our chief guest to give us his remarks as he launches in.
It's a privilege to join you this morning at this significant occasion marking the launch of the Kenya Institute of Supplies Management Strategic Plan 2025-2029, the unveiling of its new enterprise resource planning system, and the inauguration of the Kenya College of Supply Chain Management. Today marks a new chapter, one that speaks to transformation, modernization, and a renewed commitment to the professionalism in the supply chain space. This moment affirms KISM's ongoing journey towards fostering ethical standards and operational excellence in line with its core mandate. The convergence of the strategic plan, the ERP system, and the Kenya College of Supply Chain Management creates a powerful ecosystem of vision, technology, and human capital, precisely what is needed to professionalize and transform the sector. I note that the strategic plan builds upon the strong foundations of the SPMA 207. This reaffirms KISM's unwavering commitment to becoming a model institute fostering competence and ethics in supply chain management. This vision is not just aspirational. It is essential, especially in fortifying a robust and accountable supply chain ecosystem in Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, as a steadfast advocate for institutional reforms, I recognize the pivotal role that strategic vision plays in guiding professional bodies like KISM towards the realization of national development aspiration. The strategic plan unveiled today reiterates the KISM's pivotal role in entrenching governance, accountability, and professional excellence within the supply chain ecosystem. Framed around 5 cardinal pillars, I note that the strategic plan articulates ambitious agenda to catalyze the growth of a competent membership base, institutionalize continuous professional development, and fortify regulatory compliance through robust enforcement mechanisms. These strategic thrusts are underpinned by a clear imperative to cultivate a cadre of ethical, licensed, and globally competitive supply chain practitioners. In an era where public resources stewardship is under intense scrutiny, this strategic plan elevates KISM's institutional relevance by anchoring its financial sustainability and operational agility to the broader public sector reform discourse. It is therefore not merely a roadmap, it is a signal of intent, a resolute declaration that the supply chain profession will be a cornerstone in Kenya's governance architecture and a frontline bulwark against inefficiency, malpractice, and systemic corruption. Similarly, the deployment of the new ERP system, supported by the World Bank, aligns perfectly with the government's digitization agenda, providing a critical backbone for operational efficiency and improved member services. It is encouraging to see how technology is being deployed to bridge gaps, increase transparency, and improve turnaround times. The establishment of the Kenya College of Supply Chain Management is equally commendable. A country's progress is deeply tied to the quality of its institutions, and this college will certainly play a pivotal role in shaping future professionals grounded in both skill and ethics. Allow me to commend the leadership of KISM, its council, and all stakeholders who have made this progress possible. The work of building strong institutions takes vision, discipline, and consistency, and what we witness today is a testament of those values. So it is now my distinct honor and high privilege to declare the Kenya Institute of Supply Management Strategic Plan 2025-2029, the Enterprise Resource Planning ERP system, and the Kenya College of Supply Chain Management officially launched on this 24th of April in the year of our Lord 2025. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Big round of applause, please. Three, two, and one. There we go. Makofi tafadhali, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, the Kenya College of Supply Chain Management are fully loaded. Asante sana. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. To 2029. Wow, there you go. Asante sana, asante sana.